October 22nd, 2015, Wikispeed, Lynnwood, Washington, United States shop. I'm here with David, and we just attempted a 3D scan of this headlight. David tried different lighting setups. We're using our Sense 3D Systems scanner, and on my Microsoft Surface Pro 2, we pegged the CPU. So we set up this ridiculous 8-core server with, gosh, what is it, like 64 gigs of RAM? But we haven't been able to successfully save any scan yet from here. I wonder if it needs more GPU power, graphics compute power. I don't know. We'll dive into it. The benchmarking tool that comes with the scanner to check if your GPU is fast enough or if you should just use compute power and toggle between the two, it seems to be disabled in our version of the software, even though it's mentioned in the documentation. So I'm not sure what's up. Let's see what got done today. In the done column, carefully mix new epoxy, apply to windshield, rough up aluminum mating surface. Let's take a look at that. Still in doing is test 3D Sense scanner. We did test, but we didn't have success, so we'll test again. Here's what we did. This is a windshield module prototype. Here's the windshield wiper motor. It's face down. The wiper arm would be on the back here. Here's the A-pillar frame, top and bottom. Now the folks who ordered the DOT AS1 glass from said don't ever drill it. It'll propagate cracks no matter how little stress you apply, or even if you use rubber washers and grommets around drill spots. So instead, we used a structural epoxy to connect these after roughing up the aluminum surface. We'll let it cure overnight, and we'll test it the next Wikispeed build day, which might be Sunday. And if that's working well, we'll attach it to the 8-pillar end plates here on chassis number 8. David, for somebody mixing up epoxy or roughing up aluminum somewhere in the world to try to epoxy aluminum to aluminum, what tip would you give them to help them have success with it?
I would say just make sure that your ratios are correct with the epoxy. Every epoxy is different, so you make sure that you read the instructions, and basically make sure that you rough up your edges, not too much, just a nice fine rough will work, just so that way the epoxy's got something to bond to. And yeah, we tried we actually had this epoxy together earlier, and when we went to pick it up, it didn't bond well, so that's why we roughed it up. But the glass stuck on the other side to the aluminum really well.
And when we roughed it up, we used a scraper to, just a hand scraper, a set of hand scrapers to peel the partially cured epoxy off. And then you set us up with a power sander, a plug-in power sander, and just sanded the edges. And that actually went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, pretty smooth. Yeah, there was some epoxy still left on the aluminum itself. So really, you had to get rid of that to begin with, so that way it'll bond flush. And then we just basically just decided that we were going to rough up the aluminum a little bit more to get a little bit more epoxy to stick.
Awesome. And the windshield wiper arm here, this windshield wiper arm that attaches to that motor, was a little too short, and the other David cut a piece the right length out of aluminum, but it hasn't yet been machined to fit. I'll quickly show it, even though it's not done. We can probably get it done on Sunday because it's rough cut, and we'll put it in the milling machine and get it fine cut. So here's the piece that it was cut from, and I actually don't see where the cut piece was set. And that David's already headed home for the night. Well, we'll need to find that by Sunday. But here's the source material.
It's right there.
It's cut from. Oh, here it is. It's in the milling machine. Here's our guy. And this is almost exactly the correct width. Then I'll walk the milling machine down. I'll change out the chuck for a collet and make this a consistent line. He actually did this with a rip saw. It's amazing with a circular saw. He got it such a clean edge. And this will become the correct length windshield wiper arm. And that's what we've got in progress and what we've got done. Again, sorry for the such crowded shop. We've got construction going on upstairs. So everything from upstairs is downstairs right now. Rock, see you guys Sunday.